Welcome back. In today's video, we're breaking down Daredevil, Born Again Season 2, Episode 4, Gloves Off. And this might be the most detail-packed episode so far. From hidden MCU connections to blink and you miss it Easter eggs, this episode is absolutely loaded. We're covering 12 major details you probably missed, and one of them could completely change how you see the story. And just a heads up, the second-to-last detail reveals something crucial about Bullseye's mindset. So stick with me to the end. Let's get into it. Missed detail number 1. Marvel logo color change, blue. Right from the opening, the Marvel Studios logo deviates from its standard red and instead appears in blue. This shift isn't arbitrary. It visually aligns with the episode's consistent use of blue color grading, particularly in scenes centered around Bullseye. From a filmmaking standpoint, this establishes a cohesive visual language, where the logo itself subtly foreshadows the tone and character focus of the episode. Missed detail number 2. New York, Born Again symbolism. This scene might look simple to viewers, but it's actually one of the most revealing moments in Daredevil, Born Again, Season 2, Episode 4. Right here, we see the glass model of the city, and at the base, it clearly reads New York, Born Again. This reflects Wilson Fisk's ideology, his belief that he is meant to rebuild the city in his own image. But look closer. At the very center of that New York miniature model is a sculpted head, and it's Fisk himself, placed right at the heart of the city. That's not decoration, that's symbolism. In Fisk's mind, New York doesn't just belong to him. It revolves around him. He sees himself elevated above the city, almost like a god at the center of his creation. And that belief is about to collapse, because the boxing event becomes the stage where Bullseye arrives with the intention of attacking Wilson Fisk. Fisk believes he has everything under control, but that control falls apart in seconds. Bullseye breaks into the venue and kills the AVTF agents. In response, Vanessa Fisk shoots Bullseye from the side. But even that isn't enough to stop him. In the chaos, Bullseye grabs the glass New York miniature model and throws it directly at Vanessa. Fisk reacts quickly, trying to block it with his belt, but the model still shatters on impact. In the explosion of glass, a fragment breaks off and strikes Vanessa in the head, leaving her critically injured. And in that moment, the god at the center of the city is proven powerless. His control, his image, his perfect world, it all shatters. And worse, it ends up harming the person he was trying to protect, the person he loves most. So that head at the center isn't just a symbol of power. It's foreshadowing its collapse. The glass shattering shows how fragile Fisk's control over New York truly is. Because no matter how powerful he believes he is, there are forces, like Bullseye, that can bring everything crashing down. This scene was tough. Missed detail number 3. Bullseye's banana milkshake callback. Bullseye orders and drinks a banana milkshake at the Bel Aire restaurant here, which feels very intentional. Because if you go back to Daredevil Season 3, his apartment actually featured banana-flavored protein powder in the kitchen. So this isn't just a random choice. It works as a subtle callback to his character from the Netflix era, which is especially interesting, considering the show wasn't originally planned to connect this closely to that version of the character before its creative overhaul. And altogether, it ends up feeling like a full-circle detail that ties both versions together. If you're enjoying the breakdown so far, hit like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel grow and helps more fans find videos like this. Let me know down in the comments which detail stood out the most. And keep watching, the best details are still coming. Missed detail number 4, Frank Castle reference. In this scene, Bullseye is inside the diner with his milkshake, calmly sitting before things escalate, when he calls 911, claiming that Frank Castle is inside opening fire. That false report is enough to instantly draw in and lure the AVTF, Anti-Vigilante Task Force, to the location. They arrive expecting a serious threat. And that's the key point. Frank Castle's reputation alone is powerful enough to trigger an armed response, even when he isn't actually there. That leads directly into Bullseye ambushing them, and a brutal, rough fight breaking out inside the diner. Missed detail number 5. Bullseye sees himself as the good guy. In this scene, Bullseye walks up to a civilian inside the diner and says, "Don't worry, I'm one of the good guys." He literally calls himself one of the good guys here, and that's what makes it so disturbing. Right after all that chaos and massacre in the diner, he genuinely believes everything he just did was justified. This actually connects directly to how Bullseye is written in Marvel Comics. In the comics, he often has a completely warped sense of morality. He sees himself as being on the right side, even while causing destruction. So this moment isn't random. It reinforces a core part of his character. His version of being a good guy is completely twisted. And that's what makes him even more dangerous. He's later seen leaving the diner, where he leaves his signature mark on the diner doors. Missed detail number 6. White Tiger's responsibility. In this very scene, there's a conversation between Matt Murdock and Angela Del Toro, and it really stands out. Matt doesn't just ask her a simple question. He challenges her, making sure she truly understands the weight of the White Tiger amulet. Because to him, this isn't just power, it's responsibility. It's a defining moment that shows how seriously Matt views legacy, especially when it comes to carrying a mantle like this. And for Angela Del Toro, this scene isn't random at all. It's clearly setting up her evolution into the next White Tiger. Now this next detail actually connects directly to Matt Murdock's past, his childhood, in a way most people completely missed. Missed detail number 7. Fogwell's gym flashback. This is one detail a lot of fans overlook. The boxing match between Mayor Wilson Fisk and Matterhorn that took place at Fogwell's gym. That location isn't random at all. It's the same Fogwell's gym, a place tied to Matt Murdock's childhood, where he spent time with his father, a boxer who chose not to throw a fight and paid for it with his life. So when we see Matt here, it's not just another setting. It's personal. These flashbacks connect directly to his past, reinforcing the emotional weight, the trauma attached to this place. And even more than that, the scene mirrors key moments from earlier portrayals of his origin, making it a powerful continuity callback that ties everything together. Missed detail number 8. Stan Lee Easter egg, Excelsior. For missed detail 8, during Vanessa Fisk's meeting with the governor, you can spot the New York State seal in the background with the motto Excelsior. New York State uses this official motto, which is also famously associated with Marvel legend Stan Lee. Now, this is clearly just part of the real state seal and government setting, but fans will instantly recognize the fun coincidence and connection. Missed detail number 9. White Bull symbolism, Fisk and Vanessa. For missed detail 9. In the same scene where we see the governor and Vanessa Fisk in conversation, the governor subtly compares Vanessa and Wilson Fisk to Europa and the white bull from Greek mythology. In the myth, Europa is the one who tames the white bull, Zeus in disguise. And that parallel is important, because here, Vanessa is positioned as the one who controls the white bull, Wilson Fisk. She becomes the brains behind maintaining the mayor's public image, keeping his power stable and presentable. So this isn't just a myth reference. It reflects their dynamic, power, control, and balance, where Fisk represents raw force, and Vanessa represents control over it. It's less about mythology itself, and more about control, power, and balance between them. Missed detail number 10. Clinton Church return. For missed detail 10, Matt Murdock returns to Clinton Church to pray, the same place where he grew up as an orphan. The scene also brings back visual callbacks to his childhood, connecting to earlier portrayals of his origin in the Netflix series era of Daredevil. During the conversation with the priest, Matt learns that Bullseye had been asking about his mother, Sister Maggie. And we also get confirmation that she is currently away in Rome, adding another layer to Matt's personal storyline and emotional stakes. Missed detail number 11. Bullseye's headphone detail. In this scene, Bullseye is seen picking up and wearing headphones in his apartment right before Daredevil confronts him. In earlier portrayals, he used audio recordings and therapy tapes to keep his mind grounded. So this shows he's still trying to hold on to control, but at this point, that control is slipping. After his diner rampage, Bullseye is driven by a vendetta against Wilson Fisk for killing his anchor, Julie, back in Season 3. He starts to believe that doing one good act, like taking down Fisk, can somehow balance out his violence. But when Matt Murdock confronts him, he challenges that idea. They engage in a brief rematch, and Matt gains the upper hand. However, Bullseye escapes by using a civilian as a human shield, proving how far gone he really is. And that's the point of the detail. The headphones show an attempt at control, but his actions prove he's already lost it. And Matt understands that killing the Fisks wouldn't fix anything. It would only turn them into martyrs and make the situation worse. When Bullseye was using his elderly neighbor, Mrs. Smithers, as a human shield to escape his fight with Daredevil, he dropped a line. Tell me, Matt, does your mother still pray for the dead? Or just the ones she hasn't met yet? This isn't random. It connects directly to what Matt learned earlier from the seminarian about Bullseye asking of his mother's sister Maggie, and also knowing that she's on a sabbatical leave in Rome. This just shows that Bullseye has done his homework. He's not just attacking physically here. He's targeting Matt's past, his faith, and his emotions. At the same time, he tries to convince Matt that his attempt to kill Wilson Fisk is a good deed, justifying his violent actions. And now, we move to the final detail. Missed detail number 12, Kingpin size change. For missed detail 12, during the charity boxing match announcement, Wilson Fisk is listed at 325 pounds. Wilson Fisk is traditionally depicted in the comics at a much larger size, often around 450 pounds. So this version is clearly adjusted for live-action realism in the MCU, while still keeping his intimidating physical presence. It's a small detail, but it highlights how the character is adapted for screen without losing his core identity. And that's all the missed details and Easter eggs I caught in Daredevil, Born Again Season 2, Episode 4. Now I want to hear from you guys. Did you spot any of these, or did I miss something you noticed? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown video, do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps push the video to more viewers and supports the channel more than you think, so I appreciate every single one of you who does it. If you're new here, welcome in. There's plenty more movie breakdowns like this coming. Don't forget to turn your notifications on after subscribing, to be one of first persons to be notified of future video uploads on the channel. That's it for the video. Bye for now.